Hey, what up, LA fans? I'm back. And today's the day. Today's the day we're finally at the Steelbook One adaptation. As you see here, I got my collections of the manga. Both the Japanese version and the English version. And time of recording this is still ongoing. Still ongoing. In a couple of days more chapters are coming out. Mostly calling like volume 6 or 7. Yeah, most likely volume 6. As volume 7 releases in August. The final volume releases this August. And it's the final volume in the part. I'm most likely sometime after we'll start again month after or two. We'll probably get English translations of part 8. I just able to release a part 9's next chapter, which I covered on my manga channel if you want to do this. I also covered the entire manga on the channel once before. Wasn't proud of it. But time I'm currently reviewing each chapter of the manga. As we officially released on the Channel Drop app. Currently on chapter 22, being the second stand fight. So yeah, this is a pretty good adaptation with a lot. Have you read the manga like I have? You notice a lot of the changes. But I'm sure it'll be a dedicated video about what was changed in the special. What was changed? Oh, we not say. It was published. Part 7 started published in Weekly Shonen back in 2000s. It was this, then it moved to Ultra Jump. Mostly so Rocky can focus more on his artwork and stuff. My reason allows him to fully detail his art. That's why Part 7 is one of the most detailed That's one of the most detailed art styles. Makes it really great. Of course, no name change as far as I can tell, as traditionally JoJo. Also, on Netflix, it's its own separate thing compared to being part of the main JoJo anime. Yeah, if you go to Netflix, it's marketed as being separate, still JoJo, but not part of these from by the rolling up the Stone Ocean. Which, by the way, I have covered the reviews on all those parts. And I will listen today. One's currently premiering now. Yeah, 2 already out. So parts 4, 5, and 6 release in the next few hours. So 4 and 6 o'clock will be the release of them. So if you've not watched them, I recommend you go watch them once they're out. If you call up on the parts, they call up. Then come to this video or the next video that you can watch this. So, there'll be spoilers for what happens in the episode. I might be I don't know if we mentioned this, but there'll be some spoilers for some events that will happen. I might end up revealing some information about stuff that happens later. So a bit of a spoiler that does happen. So let's get on. So we get immediate first change at the start, as we open up with a narration about the 1890. Which I think was introduced to this on that's mentioned. We got a glimpse of a story that I thought it was starting to be adapted, but no. I think that's like what small bits of it. And that's with a specific character. Again, I'm not saying his name yet. Not too his name's not even revealed until much later. His name's Sandman. So Sandman in the manga had a lot of scenes that before the introduction of our main characters. A lot of scenes him focus suggested he might be a main character, but no, it's not really that important. It's just forgot about later. Also shows him having a glimpse of it shows him with a power of a stand. We see a glimpse of it though. It's not real until much later. I've only shown Most likely a lot of this story will be moved to some point later in the part. I guess it may most likely around the Silent Way story arc. Oh god. That's just like. And so also I feel like this backstory may be revealed on the Inner Silent Way arc. Because Sarah doesn't do much about that part about the story until that arc. We don't know about any more episodes yet, or when they're coming out stuff. Maybe it's a weekly thing. We don't know. But I say, the way he runs in animation is like a little funny. Guys reminds me of one of those Titans from Attack on Titan. That meme. Where he transitions his body like this. That's the white man's way of running, according to them. So, yeah. Meanwhile, we come to the press Steelbook 1 press conference. Removing the story parts that introduce Stephen Steele, who was played by the same actor who played Muhammad Abdul in Part 3. He is also the voice of All Might in My Hero. United States of Smash! Interesting fact. Abdul has a counterpart in this too. I love that he uses a move to it. Let me show it. See if I can put it. Here he is. This is the counterpart, Abdul. And he's played by Abdul's actual voice actor. Fun though. This is fun. So, Johnny. Sorry. Explain what the press conference explains is. About the race, down distance and stuff. After that, we're gonna see they actually see that was from a bit earlier in the manga before the press conference, but it's been moved here, which don't mind that. It's a funny scene. And well, the volume release has actually given Steven Steele some little bit of character building. So I wouldn't be surprised when they eventually adapt these stories. Again, this backup story about Stephen Steele, and his wife, and tell Stephen what it's going to be. Most likely will be moved to most will be shown in a different episode. I'm just making guesses. Oh, that's being very slightly. I'm just making guesses. I really don't know. So anyway, until we cut to a man signing up for the Steel Ball Run. His name is Gyro Zeppeli. It was a guy just picked on him, but uses these mysterious steel balls. But real detail too. The anime actually adds a sound effect to that that's very familiar to JoJo fans. It's a sound effect used by Hamon in the first two parts. As for a reason though, we will learn about this a little bit later, but just though the technique used to spin the steel balls are basically the same properties as Hamon. Yeah. I was saying, Gyro's voice actor kicks it. Good casting. don't actually catch the manga. And it's expected really, because it's really tricky. They'll take too much time. They do artwork, but it will take too much time on the schedules. So it makes sense to be a little less detailed. I really find it interesting that these characters have painted nails. Like, it's not even that case in the manga called this color page. Color spread, I mean. Yeah, you'll have a color page. Anyway. So yeah, the interview. But yeah, glimpse of protagonist is shown a bit early in the episodes when he doesn't even appear until chapter 2 of the manga. That's not a joke either. That actually does happen. Yeah, see, when first released, it wasn't marketed as part 7. It was just titled Steel Ball Run. And with Gyro on the cover of the issue. Like he's on the cover of the first volume. I mean, to be fair, we also started reading in the first chapter. But definitely leave, even though it has Rocky's last time, wouldn't think it was the JoJo part. And there's some references to it, like Gyro's last name being Zeppeli, reference to both Will A and Caesar Zeppeli. So, everyone's pissed. Right? What's the word? Basically, Gyro is about basically tells him, with a very detailed shot, by the way, which is really cool. And he picks up that gun. You'll be treated as an enemy. And he says, Titus isn't watching this with up. Gyro uses the ball to look at the guy's hand who has the gun. Look. I see the steel ball's technique. As there's a twist of the guy's arm around, and there's a killing himself. Of course, Gyro's not arrested because this was a duel, basically. So Protagonist wants to know the steel was the no suspect. That ends up making him briefly stand up since he's a paraplegic. Makes him quite a very unique character too. I'll get to that in a bit. Of course, the anime makes a slight change here, as well. His backstory was shown after the touch, and some dialogue here was moved to later in the episode. So we're not going to go to the backstory yet. So the guy, so the protagonist is chasing after Gyro. Also more about Gyro basically refuses to tell him more. He tells him, as well, just beat him in the race. He's got a race to win. And this is when we get the backstory, which, in a way, not bad. It works for the adaptations. It worked in the manga because there was a manga where it ended the chapter on the cliffhanger, and then opened up the backstory for the next chapter. So that makes sense. But this is a TV adaptation. That would make sense. So that. Speaking of which, this is Netflix exclusive, so it won't be censored. Even though JoJo, a lot of the very, very gory stuff had to be censored. But that was just due to TV broadcast standards. Well, most parts still remain uncensored. Some of the other censorship was removed in the Blu-ray releases, which Netflix does not have. No joke, Netflix does not have that for some reason. That kind of bothersome. So yeah. Daddy's name is Johnny Joestar. As a kid, he was a jockey. Which is enough. His brother gets a mention here, but his brother's not mentioned until much later on in a later fight. I think it was the Tusk chapters. Oh, I think it was just the Tusk arc. Yeah. So the backstory in Star Chapter 3. Let me just get to it. So they expanded the backstory slightly. But Johnny comes up with an asshole in this. So, again, Johnny's brother's not mentioned until much later in the part. Not all the way at the end, I mean just a little bit later. So mentioning him and his brother's death, mention the brother he died as well. Quite an interesting choice. They had that a little early on the story. So yeah, Johnny became a famous jockey after that. He also mentions his father doesn't care about him. Which is a brief explanation why Johnny's a bit of a dick and a bit of a dick. Because that thing went to Johnny's head and became an ass. They came in to bite him in the ass though. When he ends up kind of the line of a young guy, of a young man. So, Johnny's so much of a prick. The guy just ended up shooting him. Caused him to become paraplegic. Basically, everyone's basically abandoned him. So Johnny's alone. He kind of deserved it though. At least with the context of this flashback. But gosh, the flashback will, because this will be expanded upon in later chapters. Because it thinks Johnny is a bit of an ass early on, but who got he deserved. So why should we care about rooting for him to want to walk again? We start to say more when we actually learn more about his backstory, which I will be getting here too. But I get to when I eventually read the manga version of it. So be sure to subscribe to my manga channel, Super Jump for it. Anyway, Johnny. And you see it's actually added of Johnny actually going to sign up for the race, which happened off screen in the manga. So Santa sign up, and a scene being a bit of his stand removed, which is an odd thing to do. So it looked like he was moving the sand, but again, they could have just kept the scene in, but updated to actually show his stance ability. I guess they could pick up a way to do it, I guess. Am I starting to hear things though? Alright. So yeah. Johnny knows another secret of techniques, that's why he signed up for the race. And he ends up trying to take a wild horse. Well, a horse that's not exactly. But it says if Johnny's able to do it, it'll be more than human. You see the possibility of that wild horse. Well, Johnny never gave up. Day the races happen. Or was it when the race starts? It announces the character. Some stuff that was at the conference was moved here for the start of the race. Shut off the races. The outdoor course I mentioned before. Porting characters are Mountain Tim and Diego Brando. The counterpart to Diego Brando. But not as cool as his counterpart. Dio is true evil incarnate, no matter how simple his backstory was. As the JoJo's took him in, and the kindness that it has. Yeah, he still chose try to tear them apart, or just to steal the fortune. Now that loss has suffered him over the years. It shows how evil he is deep down. Doesn't want to be. He's probably like his father. Diego also has a sympathetic backstory, which again comes much later. But you think it comes to the final fight against the main antagonist. So yeah. Anyways, Johnny Rush retained the horse. Now begins the race. I'm going to go over the race much, but the scene showing Boco Loco, another character, has been changed around a bit, as his scenes happened a little bit earlier. The scene that was introduced in the manga was actually moved to be a flashback in the anime. As he went to the fortune teller, looked strangely similar to Inyaba from part 3. Well, him having good luck, obviously it's just scaring him, but you see, it's overwhelming good luck. That's how the race is. Again, it's a really good long race. Shows Diego's skills since he's a jockey. Diego's Joseph. Yeah, so Diego. It's a really long race with Joe using the steel balls. Yeah, I didn't get much detail in the manga version. But the explanation was how Sandman's able to keep up with horses by running. The explanation is removed from the manga. Like if you look at the manga version of the scene. Let me just go back, see about it. Yeah. This explanation got removed for some reason. The race is enjoyable to watch. They do use CGI horses but for long distance shots. I'm not really sure how Poco Loco stand. I mean, he's not really important anyway. He only has one appearance in the entirety of the part. Poco Loco appears quite some bit. Doesn't do much. I wish we saw Diego actually being a little more good person. Actually, decided to willingly work with Johnny and Gyro. Hey, it's my opinion. Speaking of Johnny, so yeah, as the Gyro steel balls, Gyro wins the first stage. And the dialogue, which was from Johnny's backstory, even shown about placing in the trailers, is moved here, to show us the end of the episode. I was able to learn to walk again after meeting Gyro Zeppeli. And that's how it ends. A great start. I hope this is a weekly release too, because I really want to watch JoJo weekly. I was never able to do it when it was back in when it was releasing. From buddy. Because mostly because I didn't have time to do YouTube properly at the time. I started, as you know, back in 2021 is when I started to do YouTube properly. I was there for the rest of Snow Ocean's releases. So watch us do both run weekly if you want to feel like those who were watching parts 1 through 5 weekly. But yeah. if you want to watch it, go watch it. It's on Netflix. It's good. So, and for a while leading up to it, Netflix has released clips of the six protagonists of each of the parts, show off their best moments. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So thank you guys for watching. Enjoy my content, please hit that button. If you want to see more Scratch Auto, should always come true. If you want to see my more JoJo parts, be sure to check out my reviews of the manga. I plan to do more, don't worry. I plan to do more today, maybe. Or not. No. I got stuff to catch up on. So, yeah, thank you. I'll see you guys next time. Later, really. Keep your out.